While the Venus flytrap is perhaps the most well-known plant that eats animals, there are plenty of other carnivorous plants that feast on live prey. These impressive yet somewhat terrifying plants aren't actually a danger for humans, but they're definitely pretty interesting. It's strange to think that there are animal-eating plants out there, but we've got to admit that stranger things do happen every day. Sometimes truth really is stranger than fiction. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all our latest and most exciting content. Number 10. Cobra Lily. The cobra lily gets its name from the fact that it looks somewhat similar to a cobra that's all prepped to attack. This plant is relatively rare and is found in Oregon and California. This plant enjoys cold water bog environments and gains its sustenance from unfortunate insects. The cobra lily attracts prey with its sweet aroma, tricking insects and other small creatures into thinking that it's an unassuming food source. The colors of its forked leaves vary a bit, ranging from yellow to a purplish-green hue. The plant devours insects in order to make up for a lack of nitrogen in its preferred environment. Cobra lilies are extremely hardy plants, able to regenerate from its roots, even after being consumed by fire. One of 3 genera of American pitcher plants, it traps prey thanks to its sweet secretions and downward-pointing hairs that force victims down and keep them there. It prevents prey from escaping by hiding its small exit hole. It also has multiple fake exit points that are see-through, confusing prey and causing insects to wear themselves out after repeated attempts to escape through its false exits. Its inner walls are also slippery, so prey can't easily escape even if they do locate the true exit. Number 9. Triphyophyllum. A monotypic plant genus, Triphyophyllum is the only plant in its species. It has a 3-stage life cycle, and its leaves change shape as it progresses through these stages. To begin with, it has a rosette of lanceolate leaves, eventually developing long, slender leaves, which are used to help it trap insects. From there, it produces short, non-carnivorous leaves, the tips of which resemble grappling hooks. The stems of these leaves can grow to lengths of 50 meters and thicknesses of 4 inches across. The largest of all known carnivorous plants, Triphyophyllum, wasn't known to be carnivorous until 1979, 51 years after its initial discovery. Its seeds grow to be 3 inches in diameter and are bright red in color. Quite rare, this plant is native to Western African tropical forests, being found in Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. It catches prey thanks to a mucilage secretion and is considered a passive carnivorous plant because its leaves don't actively move in order to aid in its feeding. Instead, it traps its prey by acting a little like flypaper, with insects that land on its leaves becoming stuck, allowing the plant to slowly digest them. Number 8. Corkscrew plant. This plant doesn't actually eat insects at all. Instead, it prefers to ingest protozoa and other tiny microscopic critters. This plant attracts prey with the help of its leaves, which grow underneath the soil where its food sources can be found. These leaves are long and are very pale, resembling strange roots as they extend through the soil below. Some types of corkscrew plants, however, do have leaves that sprout above the soil, although these are only used to aid in photosynthesis. Officially a type of herb, these plants can be found in Africa as well as Central and South America, so it's relatively widespread. There are around 30 known species of corkscrew plants, and they tend to grow in wet or semi-aquatic environments. Much like Triphyophyllum, its carnivorous nature wasn't known until well after its initial discovery. That being said, Charles Darwin himself was sure that the plant was carnivorous, although he was unable to prove it himself. This plant has no roots, with its underground leaves performing the same function as traditional roots, allowing the plant to anchor itself in the ground while absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. The underground traps are white in color and look almost translucent, lacking chlorophyll. Some species of corkscrew plants have even evolved to have 2 separate types of traps, with one being short and the other long. It's thought that each of these trap types help the plants consume different types of prey. Number 7. Trigger plant. Also known as Stylidium, trigger plants are a genus of dicotyledonous plants that have a very distinctive reproductive flower structure. The plant is able to pollinate thanks to an acutely sensitive trigger mechanism with male and female reproductive organs that are fused into a floral column. They snap forward when they are touched, covering insects in pollen without actually harming them. That being said, they are most definitely protocarnivorous plants, with glandular trichomes on their sepals, leaves, and flowers. Being protocarnivorous, they are able to trap and kill insects, but do lack the ability to directly ingest or absorb nutrients from trapped insects. They produce a sticky mucilage that attracts, traps, and suffocates insects who stray too close. While this isn't a feeding aid, it's thought to be a defensive mechanism to protect the plant from being damaged. Some of its trichomes, however, do have digestive enzymes, much like traditional carnivorous plants. First discovered in 1770 during James Cook's adventures aboard the Endeavour, these plants grow mostly in Australia, and there are over 150 species of trigger plants in Western Australia alone. Other varieties can be found in Bengal, Myanmar, Malaysia, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, China, and the Philippines, including more than 300 species in total. Number 6. Water wheel plant. This aquatic plant is a lot like the Venus flytrap, but is found in lakes instead of on dry land, preferring clean, shallow, warm, and standing water with low nutrient levels and lots of access to sunlight. The two types of plants share a common ancestor that dates way back to the Cenozoic era. The water wheel plant produces no root system whatsoever. Instead, it collects nutrients by floating on the water's surface, luring its prey with traps attached to whorls that cover the length of the plant. They are the sole extant species in the genus Aldrovanda, and they eat small aquatic invertebrates. Water wheel plants are actually even more skilled hunters than Venus flytraps, and they can snap their traps shut in a mere hundredth of a second, ensuring that victims have no time to escape. Now monotypic, there are around 19 extinct species known in the fossil record. It currently has a very low genetic diversity across its known range. The water wheel plant's floating stems can reach lengths of 16 inches, and each of their many traps grow to be between 2 to 3 millimeters in size. Its traps are made of two lobes that fold to form a snap trap that are twisted in order to ensure the trap points outward. Each trap has around 4 to 6 bristles that help the plant to distinguish between prey and random floating debris in the water. Number 5. Tropical pitcher plant. Also known as monkey cups, tropical pitcher plants are monotypic and include around 170 distinct species, with plenty of additional hybrids. They are found in China, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Madagascar, Australia, India, Borneo, Sumatra, and Sri Lanka, which is a rather impressive list. They generally prefer hot, humid, lowland climates, although some are able to withstand frigid nighttime temperatures. They are called monkey cups because monkeys like drinking rainwater from their leaves. This plant's traps can grow to be over 1 foot tall, able to easily catch and consume fairly large prey, easily digesting insects, lizards, amphibians, and some small mammals. The tropical pitcher plant attracts prey thanks to its sweet nectar, with victims falling into the pitcher with very little chance of escape. The plant can take up to 2 full months to digest its meal. There are around 150 tropical pitcher plant species scattered all over the Eastern Hemisphere. Number 4. Rorigula. This evergreen shrub is also adept at trapping insects and includes 2 separate species. They have thin, woody branches that have lance or awl-shaped tips. Its flowers are star-symmetrical and have 5 red or green sepals and give white, pink, or purple flowers. It also has 5 downward-pointing stamens that flip up if they're touched. This allows them to trap insects, which are, in turn, broken down not by the plant, but by bugs that deposit feces, which the plant uses to collect nutrients. This is a pretty impressive display of teamwork. Rorigula shrubs are commonly known as dew sticks or fly bushes and are native to South Africa's Western Cape province. They grow to be around 4 feet tall and grow from a taproot, preferring mountainous areas. They are perfectly adapted to grow in sandy soil with low nutrients and have a minimal root system. These plants also secrete a sticky substance that's insoluble in water, allowing the plant to trap prey even in rainy weather. Long tentacles and glandular hairs help to further immobilize prey that's been trapped. The bugs that feed on trapped insects and then poop out nutrients for the plant to collect are Palmaridia, equipped with a thick, greasy layer that lets them walk across the plant without becoming stuck or trapped themselves. Early settlers used to catch flies in their homes by hanging Rorigula branches from their ceilings. Number 3. Moccasin plant. These beautiful little plants were first discovered in Southwest Australia. They attract insects with, you guessed it, their sweet scent, which is typical of most carnivorous plants. When insects get too close, they end up falling into the moccasin-shaped pitchers that give the plant its name. From there, prey is stuck and unable to escape. They have see-through cells that give trapped insects hope, but they eventually tire themselves out trying in vain to escape, making it easier for the plant to consume them when they become too exhausted to fight any longer. This is a bit of a unique specimen, and it's actually much more closely related to traditional flowering plants than it is to other carnivorous plants. This plant is also commonly known as the Albany pitcher plant, Australian pitcher plant, or simply flycatcher plant. They are small, low-growing herbaceous plants with simple leaves and can grow to heights of only around 20 centimeters. During winter months, these plants become dormant, staying this way for around 3 to 4 months until things start to warm up again. Number 2. Portuguese sundew. These plants grow in low-nutrient soil and are found in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, preferring coastal regions as opposed to those further inland. They use a sweet aroma to attract prey in order to supplement their diet, using a sticky mucilage to trap them when they get too close. Once trapped, victims struggle, becoming further immobilized the more they move around. Then they're digested thanks to enzymes that slowly dissolve them. This allows the plant to easily absorb the additional nutrients it needs to survive. Also known as dewy pines, these plants have glandular leaves that grow to lengths of around 20 to 40 centimeters long. Number 1. Butterwort. Like many of the plants featured on today's list, butterworts use their sticky glandular leaves to lure, trap, and digest prey due to the fact that they grow in low-nutrient soils. There are currently around 80 known varieties of butterwort, with 13 being native to Europe and 9 being native to North America. That being said, they really hold their own and thrive in Central and South America. They all form stemless rosettes and can be divided into 2 main groups, with some forming compact winter rosettes and others keeping their carnivorous leaves year-round. Species that live in more temperate regions flower when their summer rosettes are formed, while those found in tropical locations flower every time their rosettes change. They have both carnivorous and non-carnivorous leaves, with minimal and underdeveloped root systems. These plants rely on catching insects to live. They feed on small insects only, as larger ones are able to escape their sticky situations with relative ease. And that's 10 plants that eat animals. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.